fans of high quality entertainment. This video is brought to you by Dunder Mifflin. I always buy my paper from Dunder Mifflin. So this is the final video of me ranking and reviewing the Queen discography. I'm going to get all emotional. No, I'm not. This is, of course, Made in Heaven. Maybe I will get emotional. Made in Heaven is the 15th and final studio album by the British rock band Queen, released in November of 1995. It was the band's first release after the death of lead singer Freddie Mercury in 1991. Following Mercury's death, guitarist Brian May, drummer Roger Taylor, and bass guitarist John Deacon worked with vocal and piano parts that Mercury recorded before his death, adding new instrumentation to the recordings. Both stages of recording, before and after Mercury's death, were completed at the band's studio in Monterey, Switzerland. The album went to #1 in the UK, where it went quadruple platinum, selling 1.2 million copies. 500,000 copies were shipped in the United States. I said in my last video for Innuendo that talking about ranking and reviewing this one, which I hadn't really listened to very much, I was kind of thinking that they really should not have released this and just ended the Queen discography on Innuendo. But since listening to this a few times, I've changed my mind. Sometimes I can be wrong. And I know some Queen fans also agreed with what I was saying. But the thing is, Freddie Mercury was doing these vocals before his death, for some of the songs, and everybody in the band knew what was happening, and Freddie Mercury obviously gave the band his blessings to make this. And I am now, like I said, I'm now glad that they did, because I think, even though Innuendo is my #1 album of Queen's, this is just a great tribute to Freddie Mercury and his passing. And yes, it is sad to listen to and emotional, and hearing Freddie Mercury's great vocals. And I think, for most Queen fans, there's not enough of a rock element to the album. It's kind of low key and maybe even bland at some points. But I was just, I got into the album, and I think what they did was beautiful. And if you are a big fan of Queen, but you really don't care for this album, I would say, think of you have to think of the reasons behind them making this. They made it for Freddie Mercury. And so there's a lot of love on this album. And I love the songs. If I didn't like a song or two, I would definitely, well, that song sucks. But I really enjoyed the whole album. Now, the one thing is, I know that on the CD there was a hidden track. I was trying to think of what you call it. It's very simple, hidden track. And it's just a really long ambient music. I haven't even listened to the whole thing. I just skipped through it, and it's like, maybe at some point I will listen to it, and I'm sure it is nice and soothing and everything. But when they released this on vinyl back in the day, they did not include that. So I'm just ignoring the ambient track and just focusing on the regular album. So the album cover, I think, is a very nice tribute to Freddie, of course, and that's a real statue. And there's the band members on the back. Very touching. The production is great. You know, I'm not an expert on production, but you know, if a CD sounds great to me, then I'll give it an A+. The album cover, I love it. I think it's a classy album cover. The best 3 songs, I basically love all of the songs, but if I had to pick, which I'm going to do, they would be Mother Love, I Was Born to Love You, and It's a Beautiful Day. Both, you know, both songs, the intro song and the final song. But if I had to choose one of those, it would be the final song, It's a Beautiful Day reprise, where it's kind of eerie too when Freddie's singing No One's Going to Stop Me Now. Of course, thinking back to the jazz track, Don't Stop Me Now. My least favorite song, I really don't have one, but I put down A Winter's Tale, which I still love. So yeah, It's a Beautiful Day is a gorgeous opening track. Fantastic. All of Freddie Mercury's vocals are fantastic on this. Made in Heaven is great. Let Me Live with, it's really cool to hear all 3, Freddie Mercury, Brian May, and Roger Taylor singing, you know, taking turns on one track. I really like that. And Mother Love is really nice. My Life Has Been Saved. I Was Born to Love You. The album starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slowish songs, so I can understand. But you know what I was thinking too is they can't exactly, you know, on an album like this, when it's a tribute to someone who's passed away, they can't really rock out with a song like Tie Your Mother Down, you know, like that kind of a song. But you know, there is some rock and heavy stuff on this album. I was actually kind of impressed with that. And some great guitar work by Brian May. So yeah, I Was Born to Love You is great. Heaven for Everyone. You know, some of it, I can see people saying it's cheesy, the lyrics are cheesy, but the guy died, right? And maybe some of these lyrics were written just, you know, when he knew he was going to be passing away. And so, cheesy or not, it's a very moving album. Too Much Love Will Kill You. And I really love the funkiness of You Don't Fool Me. It's great. And then A Winter's Tale, and of course, It's a Beautiful Day. I was listening to bits of this album this morning, trying to find, I think it's near the end of the album, and I had read, there's this one part where you hear this really speeded up thing. It's really, and supposedly that's a recording of all of the Queen songs that Freddie Mercury did, and it's sped up to like 20 seconds or something. And so that was very moving. And so in my ranking and rating, it's kind of low in the rankings, but it's just because, for me, Queen released a lot of great albums that I love. And, you know, even if some of you Queen fans out there are think, oh, that's kind of low in the rankings or whatever, you have to realize the lowest ranked album, I gave it a B. A B really isn't bad for an album, especially in last spot. So, Made in Heaven. Gotta find it here. Goes between The Works and Hot Space at number 13 with a B+. That's right, a B+. And that is the end of my Queen series. Next up, I've decided, as some of you know, to rank and review the Beatles albums. And I did rank the Beatles albums, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago in one video. The thing is, I know, for instance, I'm pretty sure my number one back then isn't my number one now. And it's going to be kind of fun and interesting to do separate videos for each of their albums and pick 3 of my favorite songs and my least favorite song. Just, you know, I don't want to, it's not like I am repeating myself, I guess, a little bit, but I'm expanding the idea. That's my excuse. Plus, a lot of you agreed with me when I said, what should I rank next? I had 3 choices. One was the Beatles, and the Beatles won. So my final thoughts on ranking, because I always learn things when I rank. I think this is my 11th artist that I've ranked. And I always end up appreciating every artist more. I think the biggest one for me was probably David Bowie. Realizing that, oh, even his albums that supposedly weren't very good were pretty good albums. And with Queen, not as much. I mean, I was already really impressed with them. I thought they were definitely one of the most talented foursomes in a band. And I loved a lot of their albums. It was just the 80s albums that I was surprised were better than I thought they were. And when I do these, when I do any video really, but as some of you know, maybe I'm just mentioning this again to brag, and also because, you know, it means a lot to me that a movie director by the name of Edgar Wright was watching my ranking of the Sparks videos that I did on my channel. Who knew? I'm on Twitter, and I tweeted that I watched the Sparks documentary, The Sparks Brothers, again. I streamed it, and I seriously enjoyed it more than the first time. And there's one part of the movie that really gets to me. It's a female band member from around the 80s, I guess, and she kind of breaks down talking about Ron and Russell Mael, and that's my favorite. It's my favorite part of the movie, because it just shows you the passion that Sparks, Ron and Russell Mael had for making music, and nothing was going to stop them from being creative, not trying to, sell out like most bands. They just do what they want to do, just like I do on my YouTube channel. And some of you don't want me to rank and review the Beatles albums in separate videos, but I'm going to do it. I'm rambling now. But yeah, thanks everybody for the comments on this series. I hope most of you Queen fans enjoyed my rankings and reviews. And I'm looking forward to the Beatles ranking. And thank you. I would love your thoughts on Made in Heaven in the comments section below. Bye.